If there's one truth I want you to hold on to today, it's this: you have the power to master your emotions, not be mastered by them. Now, I know that's easy to say and harder to do, but let me tell you it's possible, and it's essential. Your emotions don't just happen to you, you create them. And once you realize that, you can start directing them instead of being swept away by them. So why does this matter? Because emotions drive your life. Think about it. Every choice you make, every relationship you have, every goal you set, it all comes down to how you feel. If you're letting anger or fear or doubt run the show, you're building walls where there could be bridges. You're taking 2 steps back for every step forward. You're holding yourself back from the life you're meant to live. When you take control of your emotions, you're no longer reacting, you're creating. And the quality of your life is directly linked to the emotions you consistently live in. Imagine the difference between waking up every day feeling grateful, feeling powerful, feeling love. Compare that to waking up with worry, with resentment, with self-doubt. Those emotions shape the entire day before you even step out of bed. But here's the thing, no one taught us this, right? We're told, don't feel this, don't feel that, but not how. Here's how: start by raising your awareness. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling and why? Most people never even ask that question. But once you do, it gives you a moment to think, to choose a better emotion, a better way to respond. Because you can respond with anger, or you can respond with understanding. You can react with fear, or you can act with courage. I want you to remember your mind is always looking to interpret the world, and you control that interpretation. You get to decide what events mean to you. So make a choice. Choose empowering meanings. Choose responses that lift you higher. So the next time you feel your emotions taking over, stop and ask yourself, am I willing to let this moment control me? Or am I going to control it, make the decision to live at a higher level of emotion, a level of purpose, strength, and peace? Because in the end, mastering your emotions isn't about suppression, it's about direction. It's about choosing who you want to be in every single moment. And when you choose powerfully, everything else follows. Take control, take action, and watch how your world begins to shift. Because when you control your emotions, you don't just change yourself, you change everything around you. Emotions are signals, not masters. They're messages, reminders, road signs pointing us towards something we need to pay attention to. But so often we mistake these signals for orders, letting our emotions dictate our actions and reactions. When we think of emotions as forces that control us, we give away our power. But the truth is, our emotions are there to serve us, not the other way around. Imagine this anger isn't there to consume you, it's there to tell you that something matters to you deeply, that something in your world feels off and needs attention. Fear isn't there to paralyze you, it's there to signal caution, to make you aware of potential danger or the need for preparation. Even sadness has its purpose, reminding us of what we cherish, what we're afraid to lose, or where we need to grow. If you let them, these signals can guide you, help you make better decisions, and encourage you to dig deeper into yourself. But when you let emotions be your masters, they'll push you to act impulsively, to make choices that are reactive, not proactive. You see, emotions aren't meant to be permanent states of being. They're meant to flow, to be felt, acknowledged, and then acted upon thoughtfully. When we stop treating emotions as dictators, we start reclaiming the power to choose our responses, to shape our lives with intention. To master this, start by listening without judgment. Pause, breathe, and notice what the emotion is telling you. Is it signaling a need for growth? A call to protect something valuable? A reminder to change course? Ask yourself questions. What's the story behind this feeling? What is it trying to make you aware of? And here's the truth: when we learn to see emotions as signals, we're no longer dragged around by them. We're able to transform anger into assertive action, fear into heightened awareness, sadness into a greater appreciation of life. We harness the energy behind these feelings instead of letting it drain us. Emotions, when approached as signals, are simply tools. They're guides pointing us toward a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of ourselves. Once you can interpret your emotions with clarity, you'll start seeing them as tools in your hands rather than weights on your back. You'll stop dreading them, stop running from them, and instead you'll start asking, what do you need me to learn? What's the best way forward? And in this shift, you'll find a new level of personal freedom, a new kind of strength. Because when emotions are seen for what they truly are, signals, not masters, you're no longer enslaved by them. You're empowered by them. And that, my friends, is the foundation for a life lived on your own terms, a life of true control and purpose. So the next time you feel that wave of emotion, remind yourself it's here to guide you, not to rule you. Reacting and responding might look similar on the surface, but the impact each has on our lives is vastly different. Reaction is quick, almost automatic. It's the snap judgment, the immediate pushback, the knee-jerk choice. Reaction comes from the emotions that arise in the moment, and it's usually driven by impulse. When you react, you're allowing the emotion to lead the way. It takes control of your words, your actions, and often the consequences that follow. Reaction tends to be unfiltered, raw, and usually doesn't leave room for any real understanding or forethought. In a sense, reacting is letting the world around you determine your state of mind. Responding, on the other hand, is an intentional act. It's slower, more thoughtful, and it comes from a place of awareness. Responding is about taking that split-second pause, breathing, and choosing a path that aligns with your true values, goals, and long-term outcomes. It doesn't mean you ignore the emotion, rather. It means you acknowledge it, understand its message, and then decide how you want to move forward. Responding allows you to shape the moment, to direct your emotions rather than be directed by them. It's about maintaining your power, even when situations or people try to take it from you. Think about it: when you react out of anger or frustration, your words and actions are shaped by that one single emotion, which may not reflect your true self or your intentions. But when you respond with thoughtfulness, even in the face of anger, you're showing strength, integrity, and control. You're communicating not just how you feel, but who you are at your core. Responding helps build bridges, keeps your relationships intact, and strengthens trust with others. And beyond the immediate impact, responding builds a stronger, more resilient inner self because you're consistently acting in alignment with who you want to be, not just how you feel in any given moment. This distinction between reacting and responding shapes our lives in powerful ways. Imagine how differently situations play out when you choose to respond. Conflicts are resolved more calmly. Relationships deepen with respect and understanding. You experience less regret because your actions are aligned with your values. Life's challenges no longer feel like relentless battles because you're no longer surrendering control of your emotions to external circumstances. Instead, you're standing in your power, choosing your path with clarity and intention. So next time you feel that surge of emotion, ask yourself, will I react or will I respond? Will I allow this moment to dictate my actions, or will I use this moment to express who I truly am? That choice is one of the most powerful tools you have, and it's available to you every single day, in every single interaction. The difference between reacting and responding might seem subtle, but it's a game changer, and over time, it can transform the course of your entire life. Embracing emotion means allowing yourself to fully experience your feelings rather than pushing them down or pretending they don't exist. Many people believe that burying emotions, suppressing them, or ignoring them altogether is a sign of strength or control. But the reality is that buried emotions don't disappear, they just find other ways to surface, often in ways that are far more destructive to our lives, our health, and our relationships. When you bury your emotions, you're essentially planting seeds of unresolved issues that grow into stress, resentment, anxiety, and even physical illness over time. To embrace emotion is to recognize that feelings are a natural and necessary part of the human experience. Every emotion, whether it's joy, sadness, anger, or fear, has something to teach you. They're messengers, signaling areas where you need to pay attention, places within yourself that may need healing, understanding, or change. By acknowledging and accepting emotions as they come, you open yourself up to a deeper understanding of your own mind, your needs, and your desires. Embracing your emotions also gives you the space to process and release them, to move through them in a healthy, constructive way. When you let yourself feel fully without judgment, without guilt, you're giving yourself the gift of clarity. You're able to explore what's beneath the surface and make choices that align with your true self rather than acting out of unprocessed emotion. By allowing your emotions to flow, you prevent them from building up and causing more harm down the road. Think of it like this: emotions are energy in motion. If you suppress them, that energy has to go somewhere. It might manifest as tension, irritability, or a constant sense of unease. But when you embrace and process your emotions, you let that energy pass through, leaving you lighter, clearer, and more focused. You're no longer holding on to burdens that weigh you down. Instead, you're moving forward with freedom and openness. Embracing emotion doesn't mean you act on every feeling impulsively. It means acknowledging your feelings, understanding them, and then responding in a way that aligns with who you want to be. It's a powerful approach to living a balanced, authentic life. By accepting your emotions, you're building emotional resilience and self-compassion, both of which are crucial for mental and emotional well-being. Allowing yourself to feel is one of the greatest acts of self-respect. It means you're honoring every part of your human experience. When you embrace shifting your state is one of the most powerful tools you have to change your emotional experience. Your emotional state is not fixed, it's fluid, and you can direct it. Emotions aren't simply reactions to external circumstances, they're also shaped by our thoughts, our physical body, our environment, and our focus. When you learn to shift your state, you gain the ability to influence your emotions, to move from a place of anger to calm, from stress to clarity, or from sadness to hope. One of the simplest ways to shift your state is through physical movement. Our bodies and minds are deeply connected, and by changing your posture, your breathing, or your activity, you can instantly alter your emotional state. Think about it. If you're feeling low, slouched over, breathing shallowly, your body is mirroring that emotional heaviness. But if you stand tall, take deep, purposeful breaths, or even go for a brisk walk, you start sending different signals to your brain. These signals tell your brain that you're in control, that you're strong, and that there's reason to feel better. This simple act of changing your physiology can bring about immediate shifts in how you feel. Another key part of shifting your state is to focus on what you're thinking about. Our thoughts create the lens through which we experience every emotion. If you're focused on what's wrong, on what's missing, or on past regrets, your emotional state will reflect that negativity. But by intentionally shifting your focus to what you're grateful for, to what's possible, or to the small wins in your day, you start to feel lighter, more positive, and more empowered. You're directing your mind to see things that uplift you instead of pulling you down. Your language also plays a huge role in your emotional state. The words you use to describe how you feel, whether spoken out loud or just in your head, impact your emotions more than you may realize. If you say, "I'm devastated" versus "I'm a bit disappointed," your experience of the emotion changes drastically. Try using language that brings perspective, that empowers rather than weak. Perspective is one of the most powerful tools we have to shape our lives. It's the lens through which we interpret our experiences, the stories we tell ourselves about what's happening around us and within us. The same event can mean drastically different things depending on the perspective we choose to adopt. When we consciously shift our perspective, we're not changing reality, but we're changing how reality feels to us, and that can change everything. Perspective allows us to turn challenges into opportunities, failures into lessons, and pain into growth. Imagine facing a setback. One perspective might lead you to see it as a sign that you're not good enough, that you failed, and that there's no point in trying again. Another perspective sees that same setback as feedback, as part of a learning process, as something that can make you stronger and wiser. The situation hasn't changed, but the meaning has, and with that shift in meaning, you gain resilience, hope, and motivation. Our perspective is also a source of peace. Life will never be free of difficulties, but when we adopt a perspective that accepts challenges as part of the journey, we're no longer at war with ourselves or our circumstances. We stop seeing ourselves as victims of our situation and start seeing ourselves as empowered participants. This shift in perspective gives us back our power, and that sense of inner strength can be a guiding force through even the most difficult times. Perspective also changes how we see others, and by extension, how we relate to them. When you approach situations with an open mind and try to understand where others are coming from, you gain empathy. That empathy leads to deeper connections, less conflict, and a greater sense of harmony in your relationships. Instead of jumping to conclusions or making assumptions, you create space for understanding. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone, but it does mean you're no longer limited by a single way of seeing things. In moments of struggle, perspective gives us the ability to step back and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? This simple shift from seeing a situation as happening to you to seeing it as happening for you changes everything. It takes you from a place of helplessness to one of purpose and possibility. The beauty of perspective is that it's always within our control. No matter the situation, we can choose how we interpret it. This is the freedom we carry with us each day, the freedom to decide whether we'll see obstacles or opportunities, pain or growth, failure or feedback. And in making that choice, we shape not only our experiences but our entire lives. when you embrace the power of perspective. Practicing self-mastery daily is one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate. Self-mastery isn't about being perfect, it's about commitment, discipline, and consistency in how you show up every day. It's choosing to take control of your thoughts, your actions, and your responses, no matter what life throws at you. It's about making intentional choices that align with who you want to be, even when it's hard or inconvenient. Self-mastery is built in the small, everyday moments. It's in those seconds when you feel like skipping that workout or putting off a challenging task. It's in the moments when a difficult emotion arises, and you decide whether to react impulsively or take a breath and respond with clarity. Every one of these moments is an opportunity to practice self-mastery. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, or patience over frustration, you're strengthening the foundation of your self-control and resilience. Daily self-mastery is also about knowing your goals, your values, and your purpose. When you have clarity about what you truly want in life, you're better equipped to make decisions that align with that vision. You stop letting temporary urges or fleeting emotions steer you off course. Instead, you're guided by your bigger why, the deeper purpose that fuels you. This purpose becomes your compass, reminding you to stay focused, to push through discomfort, and to embrace growth even when it's challenging. Part of self-mastery is learning to accept setbacks without losing momentum. It's easy to stay disciplined when everything is going well, but the real test comes when you face obstacles. Practicing self-mastery means showing up for yourself every day, regardless of the circumstances. It's about learning to view setbacks as opportunities to adapt, to learn, and to strengthen your resilience. Each time you bounce back, you're building greater confidence and grit. Self-mastery is a daily practice because growth is continuous. It's not a destination you reach, it's a journey you commit to. Every day you're building the muscles of self-control, focus, and perseverance. And over time, these small acts of mastery compound, transforming not only what you can accomplish, but also who you become. The person you're shaping with each daily act of self-mastery is someone who can handle challenges with poise, face fears with courage, and pursue dreams with unstoppable determination. So, make a commitment to practice self-mastery every day. Creating a vision beyond emotion is about seeing clearly where you want to go, even when feelings try to cloud your path. Emotions are powerful, and they can be valuable guides. But they're temporary, ever-changing. They can lead us astray if we don't anchor ourselves in something deeper and more stable. A vision, on the other hand, is a long-term, unwavering goal that transcends the highs and lows of daily life. It's something that isn't swayed by fleeting feelings, but remains steady, pulling you forward even when emotions would rather pull you back. To create a vision beyond emotion, start by asking yourself what you truly want for your life, not just in moments of excitement or disappointment, but in your core. This vision is bigger than any single achievement. It's the life you want to build, the person you want to become, the impact you want to make. Think about the goals that make you come alive, the ones that make your heart beat faster, and that you would pursue no matter what obstacles arise. When you find this vision, you tap into a source of motivation that goes beyond temporary emotions. When emotions get intense, whether it's stress, frustration, doubt, or even elation, it's easy to lose sight of your vision. That's why it's essential to ground your vision in clarity. Write it down, create reminders, and bring it into your daily life. Keep it front and center so that even when you're feeling lost or overwhelmed, you can look back to it and remember your purpose. Your vision serves as a compass, guiding you through life's ups and downs and giving you direction in the moments when emotions would otherwise cloud your judgment. Building a vision beyond emotion also requires patience. Real growth takes time, and often emotions demand instant gratification. But when you're committed to a larger vision, you learn to delay those short-term pleasures in favor of long-term fulfillment. You start making decisions based not on what feels good right now, but on what aligns with your goals and values. This is the discipline of seeing beyond your immediate feelings and focusing on the bigger picture. A vision beyond emotion isn't about ignoring or suppressing feelings. It's about letting your vision be the guiding force that centers you through life's storms. Your vision becomes a stable foundation, a place of calm that brings you back to focus whenever emotions start to sway you. By committing to this vision, you're anchoring yourself in purpose, giving yourself a reason to persevere even on days when motivation is low or doubts are high. When you live with a vision that extends beyond emotion, you're no longer at the mercy of every passing feeling. Instead, you're driven by something greater, something powerful that reminds you why you're here, what you're working toward, and who you want to become. This vision fuels your resilience, keeps you grounded, and pushes you forward no matter what emotions arise along the way. It's a vision that becomes the true north of your life, guiding every step with purpose and intention. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on the power of self-mastery and emotional awareness. Every single day, we face choices that can either lead us towards our goals or away from them. By embracing our emotions rather than burying them, we allow ourselves to grow and learn from every experience. When we shift our state and direct our focus, we regain control over our feelings and transform our lives. Creating a vision beyond emotion gives us the clarity we need to navigate through life's ups and downs. This vision serves as our anchor, reminding us of our true purpose and guiding us through the turbulence of daily emotions. Remember, practicing self-mastery isn't about perfection, it's about commitment and consistency. It's about making intentional choices that align with who you want to be and how you want to live. So, I encourage you to embrace the journey of self-mastery, to practice daily and to stay connected to your vision. This is your life, and you have the power to shape it. With every choice you make, every moment you embrace, and every vision you create, you are crafting a future that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Let's step into this journey together, committed to mastering our emotions and creating a life filled with purpose, passion, and unwavering strength. Thank you.